Hello, Kipsters. All right, so we are in lesson 5 now of our jump into health curriculum, and we are going to be talking about some vegetables again today, but we're also going to talk about how we can make a nice healthy snack using our vegetables. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter lesson. Normally we would actually have a snack. I would bring in some stuff. I would demonstrate this with you and possibly be able to share the food with you depending on who had a food allergy. But for today and for our lesson today, we're just going to go through the steps in making a snack, how to prepare it, how to look at directions. And then if you want to, you can go back and watch this on your own and create a healthy snack with somebody at home and ask them to help you. Okay, so lesson 5, let's eat some vegetables. We're going to spend about 18 minutes making this snack, but it's not going to take that long because we're not going to actually do it live right now. I'm going to actually post a video later on of me making a healthy snack that you can watch, but this will give you an idea of how to go get ready and prepare to make that healthy snack. We're going to talk about some goal setting, and when we set goals, it means we're trying to do something by a certain time. So if we want to run 100 meters in 10 seconds, that's our goal, okay? If we want to eat more vegetables or eat 5 vegetables a day for 5 straight days, that's a goal, okay? And we're going to talk about proper goal setting and being able to set goals that we can actually obtain and actually be successful in doing. And then we'll kind of sum up the rest of the lesson at the end, okay? So your objectives and the outcomes of today. So as a student, you are going to be able to be ready to prepare a healthy snack. You're not necessarily going to be doing it right now, but if you choose to go back and watch this later, you can actually do this healthy snack while we do the video, okay? And again, we're not going to do the taste test unless you go back, and we will do that hopefully when we get into school where we can share that stuff and have a nice healthy snack during health class. And then we're going to set a goal to eat two different vegetables in our diet for the next couple of days. So we're going to talk about that at the end. All right, so the purpose of making a snack, okay, is to prepare a healthy snack, okay, taste it, and that is just an example of what we are going to try to do here. That's going to be our purpose of this lesson. And since vegetables help our bodies so much, that we're going to make a snack here or pretend to make a snack that has vegetables in it, okay? You will really, really, really need to follow directions and be good listeners, because when you're making foods or preparing foods, cooking, being a chef, or even baking, more importantly, when you bake, if you do not follow directions and you mismeasure stuff, it can turn into a really nasty tasting food or snack. So you really have to pay attention so that you do not screw up your recipe, okay? So here we go. Oops. So here are the following foods to make a healthy snack if you want to do this at home. Now again, you don't have to, but if you would like to, you can. What you will need is some reduced fat cottage cheese, some carrots, cucumbers, peas, tomatoes, lemons, some seasonings, so like salt and pepper, stuff like that, bell peppers, cauliflower, broccoli, and celery. Okay, so these are the ingredients. So when you look at a recipe and you say, oh, these are the ingredients that I need, these are the things that you're going to need in order to put it together to make the food that you want to make. Okay, now when we talk about utensils, okay, this is the equipment that we're going to need to make the recipe. Okay, so the things in our kitchen or in our cabinets that we have that we're going to need. So we're going to need a cutting board because we're going to need to cut up vegetables and be able to do that in a safe way so we don't scratch our cabinets or our countertops and stuff like that. So a cutting board is good. Now, again, you are not going to be doing this without proper supervision of an adult, because you shouldn't be using a knife unless you have permission to, or unless you are with an adult who is helping guide you so that you do not get yourself hurt. So in this example, we would need a little bit of a knife. We would need a 1 cup of measuring cup, and we would need some measuring spoons to measure out little small amounts of things. And we're gonna need a really medium-sized bowl, okay? It looks probably big, but it's about a medium size to make our snack. Now, the directions, okay? These are the steps that you have to take in order to make your recipe successful. And if you don't do these in the right order, some recipes you might be okay. Some recipes are gonna be an absolute disaster, and they're gonna taste nasty, and they're just never gonna come out the way you want them to, okay? So in the directions for this one, okay, so you would be combining the dip ingredients in a medium bowl. So taking our bowl, okay, one of our utensils, putting all the ingredients in, blending those ingredients together, and using the back of a spoon to smash the cheese curds of the cottage cheese, okay? So you put all those into the bowl, then you're going to wash the vegetables so that you don't have any dirt or any kind of stuff on it, because a lot of times we get raw vegetables, they come out of the ground. You still got to clean them. Even when they come from the store, you want to clean them off, get them nice and clean, wash them off so that they're not, you don't pick up any of that dirt or stuff when they've traveled through factory to factory or from field to grocery store, okay? Then that's where your knife would come in, where you would slice them up into really small bite-sized pieces. Because you get too big of a piece, then you could choke on it. We don't want that. Then you're gonna serve, once you put all those pieces in, you're gonna serve 2 tablespoons of the dip and then dip the vegetables into it. So you're never gonna put the vegetables into this dip. You're gonna put the low-fat cottage cheese in, you're gonna put all the dip spices and stuff into that, mix it up, and you'll have a dip. And then once you cut up all the vegetables, they'll be there in a little pile on a plate maybe, and then you can take them one at a time and dip them into that dip that you made, and then eat them and enjoy them. Okay, and this recipe, if you follow the directions, it would make 16 servings, which means 16 people could potentially share this one dish and be in the what we would call a healthy amount of food intake. Because if one person ate all the dip and all the vegetables, they might have overexceeded the amount of food they should have eaten at that one time. So it's good to know how many servings that you have in your dip or in your vegetables, okay? So I'm going to read aloud the ingredients and ask students, and ask you, I'm gonna ask you, the students, if you think that these are go foods or woe foods, okay? How about the reduced fat cottage cheese? That is a go food because it's a reduced fat, okay? How about a carrot? Oops, I'm sorry. Gotta go back. How about the carrots, cucumbers, the tomatoes, the peas, the bell peppers, the celery, the broccoli, and the cauliflower? What about those? Those are go foods. So all of our ingredients here are go foods. So they're all good for you in certain amounts and in the certain sitting that you are making and preparing your little food dish. Okay, so now, this is where, if you were gonna make this snack, you can make this snack, or you can go back and watch the video to kind of review what the recipe means, what utensils are, what you're gonna need to do this, okay? So again, you can choose how you want to do this, but you don't have to make this if you don't want to, okay? And what you're gonna do is you should be reading out the directions, okay, first, to understand what you're gonna put in there, okay? Then get all the ingredients out onto your counter, have them ready to go, okay? And then we'll have time to mix it together, put it together, then have a chance to try it afterwards. I am gonna post a video of me doing this recipe or a recipe very similar to this, okay? But it's really, really important that you remember that when you're in a kitchen, that is a space that you have to be really careful, because as you remember in our utensils, we had knives, bowls. If they fall or somebody cuts themselves, we don't want that to happen. We want to be safe. So this is something you need to do with an adult at home if you're going to do it. And it would be great if you ask somebody at home to help you, because then you could help make a healthy meal for your entire family. And then the biggest thing of all, one of the things that's really hard for a lot of people to do, but you have to do it. Once you make this mess and you make your dish and you make your recipe, you're probably going to be a little messy. You have to make sure you clean up your space. Make sure you properly wipe down your countertops. Wash with warm water and soap, disinfectant, and get them nice and sparkly clean so that all the germs and bacteria don't start to grow on them, and then you don't cross-contaminate food later on. Okay, so we talked about a goal that we were going to set during this lesson. Okay, so let's think about this. Since vegetables make you healthy, do you think it would be a good idea to eat more of them? The answer is yes. You do want to eat more of them. So one way to help you do something like this is to set a goal. Okay, so let's review what it means to set a goal. When you set a goal, you decide what it is you want to do and when you want to do it by. Then you try to do it and see if you can do it by the time that you said you wanted to do it. You're going to set a goal and eat 2 different vegetables in the next 2 days. After the 2 days, I want you to check your goal and see if you achieved it. So it doesn't matter what 2 vegetables. I want you to set a goal to try to eat 2 different vegetables. It could be carrots and peas. It could be broccoli and cauliflower. It could be cauliflower and carrots. The 2 vegetables, you decide which ones you want to try. You might need a little help from home, because if you don't have any vegetables right now in the house, you may have to ask, hey, could we get some vegetables for dinner? Or can we get a couple of vegetables for snack? We've ran out of them, okay? And try to get 2 different ones. I know that I have to go to the grocery store and go get more vegetables because I just ran out yesterday. So I'm out of my vegetables. I need to go get some, because otherwise I'm not going to have any for tomorrow. Okay, remember that veggies, when people call veggies, it's a short and fun way to calling vegetables. So if you hear people say, well, you better eat your veggies, they're basically saying vegetables, but they're just saying it in a quicker, shorter, funner way. It's like a nickname, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. And I want you to think about that goal, make sure that you're ready for that goal, and once you have that goal ready, I want you to write it down so that you remember. And that way, when if you forget, you'll always be able to go back and refer to it without doing, really hurting your brain. Now, I do have one more thing. I'm trying to pull it up on my screen, which it should have been up on my screen, and I completely did not get it there. In 1 second. I'm sorry. Nope, we were good. We were good to go right there. Alrighty. Now, as we finish class, okay, as we start to finish class, I want you to think, okay? Think about what we talked about today, about making healthy snacks. Think about what you're going to do if you don't reach your goal. If you don't reach your goal, what are you going to do to change that? Okay? And we're going to check in, hopefully maybe in a couple of weeks, and see, did you eat your vegetables and did you get a couple of different vegetables? Did you try a new one maybe? I challenge you to try a new one, okay? And as we are finishing up, we're going to just review a couple of things that we did, okay? Do you think that Jumpin' Jackie and Gus Goodfood would like the snacks that they see that we were going to prepare with all the vegetables in them? Yeah, they would, because it's a healthy snack, remember. And what makes it a healthy snack? Because there are fresh veggies in there, vegetables or veggies, however you want to say it. Okay, they're fresh and they're in the recipe, and that's going to help your body in many ways. What do you think about Gus and Jackie's tasty veggie dip? Okay, the one that we were starting to put together kind of in pretend right now, and that I'm going to do a video of later on. What do you think? Good? Not so good? Just not good at all? Well, you should be saying it's pretty good. Now, you might not like the taste of it, but just because you don't like the taste of it doesn't mean that it was not a good recipe, okay, or a healthy one, okay? So I challenge you to try to make a recipe at home, okay? Ask a grown-up, okay? Ask a grown-up at home to help you make a healthy recipe for you and your family. We'll check back in on our goals. I hope that you're able to get to those 2 different veggies or vegetables that maybe you haven't tried before, or ones that you just like, okay? I want to see you achieve your goal, and when we achieve our goals, it makes us feel good. And when we don't achieve our goals, it's okay, because we can always reset our goals and try to do a new goal. And sometimes our goals, we reach them, and sometimes we don't. All right? So that is the end of our lesson. I am so glad that you joined us again today. Enjoy your evening. Go out there, ask for some help with an adult. Go make that healthy snack. Set that goal to eat those 2 different vegetables in the next 2 days. And when you do it, give yourself a pat on the back. All right, we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you in the next lesson. Have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.